Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Midday News on 3FM 92.7. My name is Beatrice Adu. The news is also live on Kesmi 107.1 FM and across the world at 3news.com. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Former Vice President and 2024 NPP flag bearer Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia files his nomination ahead of the January 31 presidential primary of the party.
He is struggling to make his way through happening here.
Also coming up, controversy as Health Ministry and GRNMA clash over a report on alleged attack of a health official at the Accra Regional Hospital. We have the latest for you. And much later, management of Kolebu Teaching Hospital raises red flags over diversion of business from hospital to private entities. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Now, former Vice President and the 2024 flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has filed his nomination ahead of the January 31 presidential primary of the New Patriotic Party. Dr. Bawumia, who is seeking another mandate to lead the opposition party in 2028, believes that he stands a better chance to wrestle power from the governing NDC. Addressing teaming supporters after the filing process, Dr. Bawumia made a strong defense of his time in office, touting his acclaim as the most effective vice president in the country's history. He cautioned party members against divisive tendencies whilst urging stronger unity for a common purpose of winning the next election.
Saying that I have been the most effective vice president in Ghana's history. This implies that given the opportunity, I can equally become one of the most effective presidents in Ghana as we go forward. Ladies and gentlemen, I demonstrate my strength by getting results, not by making noise or by insulting or by bragging about money. The combined effect of how well Bawumia is known today and my experience as vice president make me the most prepared person for the MPP's quest for the 2028 election and governance in 2029. Fellow Kukudites, in the words of Kofi Abrefa-Bruzia, the qualification to be a success in Ghana's politics includes a large capacity to stomach all sorts of attacks. I am not oblivious to the fact that the NDC and lately elements within our own family subject me to daily attacks. In fact, I expect that there will be more attacks in the coming months and years. But I have learned, if I have learned anything from history, it includes the fact that a man must be formidable so that no matter the adversity, he stands tall, focused, and resolute. All that can be held at me have already been attacked. As the days are going by, time has shown great vindication. The Bank of Ghana, the IMF, and even the NDC kingpins are now admitting on many matters that Bawumia was right. What more can they say about me now? In our history, when all has been said of a candidate and yet he remains standing, victory is the logical next step that awaits him. The Akans have a saying that Openyi dwe mate mante.
And you had the former Vice President and MPP 2024 flag bearer, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. You had him there seeking another chance to lead the New Patriotic Party into the 2028 general election. Now, there's controversy surrounding the alleged attack at the Ridge Hospital following the release of the report by the investigative committee that was set up by the Health Minister, Kwabena Minta Akando. The setting up of the committee followed a chaotic scene at the hospital when a social media influencer Ralph St. Williams accused medical officers there of negligence. His interaction was streamed live on Facebook, but after the incident, the officials there accused him of assaulting a nurse, which led to she having some fractures. But the committee's report, which was released yesterday, said that the said nurse did not suffer any injuries, and she apparently reported the assault a day after the incident. We'll be joined very shortly by a representative of the association, but let's quickly get a quick reaction from Dr. Emmanuel Usuefriye, who is the national chair of the Government and Hospital Pharmacists Association of Ghana. Good afternoon to you, sir. Thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, good afternoon, and thank you for having me.
The committee's report seems to have contradicted the nurse's claims that she suffered fracture or dislocation. How does this come to you?
Okay, yeah, so the report in itself honestly sounds quite surprising, considering the very fact that the nurse in question, gave her own account. And I think we need to get to the bottom of this. But that's notwithstanding, I think in the midst of all these, the way forwardness is what we should, we should ultimately look at. Whether, there was an attack, whether there was an assault or not. These are things that have already happened. We are very mindful of the fact that the nurse in question has actually also taken a legal angle, to this whole thing. So we would encourage the ministry to look at the way forwardness to prevent a subsequent, a repeat of such an episode.
But let me take you back to a comment you made earlier, which is that we must settle this. Do I take it to mean that you don't believe the report that the committee gave the ministry?
We honestly, from our end as pharmaceutical care providers, we will not be able to swallow that hook now and sinker. We believe in the integrity of our colleague nurses as well, and so I think we will just want to leave it there.
The question the public is asking is, if you claim that the nurse was assaulted, you should be able to give us some evidence to convince people that indeed this is what happened, instead of just dismissing the report from the committee.
I get that bit. Think the GRNMA last evening, through an interview with the regional chairperson, did even indicate that the said medical doctor who indeed first attended to the patient, to the staff, was not even interviewed, as part of this. But I said, I think all these notwithstanding, the back and forth is not really going to help. Let's just move on, and settle things issues, especially as considering the fact that the nurse has taken a legal angle on this whole assault. So whether assaulted or not, I believe the court processes may allude further evidence to, the claim of statement of both of them. And then let's settle on how we will prevent this thing, further, so that we can continue to provide quality healthcare to the people of Ghana.
Ended here. Thank you very much, Dr. Emmanuel Owusu-Afriyie. He's the National Chairman of the Government and Hospital Pharmacists Association. We'll also be getting a quick reaction as well from the Ministry of Health very shortly. But ahead of that, we still stay on health because the management of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital is raising red flags over the diversion of business from the hospital to private entities. The rather bizarre development, according to the CEO, is affecting badly the revenue to the Premier Health Facility. He has warned staff found to be engaged in these activities would be subjected to disciplinary action. But what really are the activities being raised by the hospital management? We have a copy of a memo to all management, and we'll be showing you that very shortly if you're joining us on Facebook. But we do understand that these health officials, let me just read that memo to you before I go into the details. It says in that memo that it has come to the attention of the management that certain staff members have been engaging in activities that divert the hospital's core business to private facilities. These actions include, but are not limited to: 1. Prescribing of services or medications that are readily available at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital and directing clients to purchase them from private facilities. Engaging private facilities to collect blood samples for tests, and also that can be conducted within the hospital. And there's some more on it. We'll bring you that also. Just the last bit about that using the Kolebu Teaching hospital facilities and resources to perform surgeries while collecting money with private receipts or without issuing any receipts at all. Now, the management said that such practices constitute serious irregularities and result in significant loss of revenue to the hospital. With immediate effect, any staff member found to be involved in any of the above mentioned activities will face disciplinary action in accordance with the policies of the hospital. The management is urging all staff to uphold the integrity and financial sustainability of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. And shortly as well, we'll be engaging a senior member of the Health Committee of Parliament. Some 12 minutes past the hour of 12. Stay with us.
Hello, Ghana. It's a new year and Bills Microcredit is here to support your dreams. If you're not working but want to start a business, don't let money stop you. With just your Ghana card, you can get a loan to turn your ideas into reality. Already running a business? Need more capital? Or are you a salary worker looking for extra funds? Bills offers fast and easy loans with no collateral, no deposit, and no SUSI savings required. Wherever you are, whatever you need, Bills makes it happen. Call Bills Microcredit today. Call 0596 920 833 or 0302 200 390 and get started. Bills is licensed and regulated by the Bank of Ghana. Bills, financing your needs. Terms and conditions apply.
It has always been a journey of Pan-Africanism and consciousness. It is your regular taxi driver with the urban blend and 3FM 92.7 in living stereo every day, Monday to Friday, from 12:30 p.m. till 3 p.m. This is the show everybody listens to, so your business will certainly do well here. My name, Black Rasta. I am the rootical, hairtical, Don Gargan, Moa Fire.
Rhythm come forward. Atinga ya chika fankare, Azure ya chika fankare, Abama ta chika fankare.
3FM, your urban lifestyle.
And you're still here on the Medanis on 3FM 92.7. Let's speak to the Member of Parliament for Dafiama Busie Isa and Vice Chair of the Parliament Health Committee. Good afternoon to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Sandari.
Thank you very much.
As Vice Chair,
pleasure having me.
As the chair of the committee, how concerning is it to you that staff of Ghana's Premier Teaching Hospital may be diverting services and resources for private gain?
Yeah, thank you very much. Let me say that it's something that is of concern to us as members of the Health Committee, but I believe it's also of concern to all Ghanaians that such regulation has come. But as members of the committee, we think that this might just be something that is happening at one facility. So I would think that maybe it can be scaled up to other teaching hospitals and tertiary facilities in case such practices are happening. Then it will be addressed in totality. But we commend the management of Kolebu Teaching Hospital for whatever measures that they are putting in place to ensure effective and efficient management of the facility.
Beyond the internal disciplinary action that the management said in that statement I read earlier, what policy or structural interventions can Parliament and the Ministry of Health push to address these revenue leakages? Because it's almost like an open secret. We know of locum.
Yes, like clearly said. I mean, the policies are very clear. You know, in Ghana, we don't have problem with the absence of policies. They are there in abundance. I'm sure if you go to the ministry, you go to the teaching hospital, there are, you know, well-developed policies that should guide these health facilities. Maybe the issue is the compliance, and therefore there should be strict sanctions and punitive measures or disciplinary procedures, let me put it that way, so that people who flout these policy guidelines and things should be dealt with. That way it will deter anybody or any staff that may indulge in such practices. But like we all know, I mean, this is we've been hearing it. It's not something that has just happened. I mean, the issue of Kolebu and other places, here and there, no logistics, equipment are broken down, they cannot repair. I mean, these things happen because the revenue that should be generated and ensure that it is used for service delivery, sometimes through various means like management has identified, they get diverted, and, you know, people are not sanctioned or disciplined, and so the practice continue to happen, unfortunately.
Let me ask you this, and which is our next story. We do understand that there is a health crisis beginning to emerge among displaced victims, mostly children of the communal conflict happening up north within the Sola Kalba district. As Vice Chair of the Health Committee, is this something that has come to you? What are you doing about it?
Thank you very much. Because we are on research, some of these things we all just read them on the news. But whatever it is, once we get to hear, you know, through the good work of the media, then it's something that we should handle seriously. And we all know, I mean, the evidence is there that, look, anytime you have a conflict, children and women suffer the most. As for the men, you know, they are mostly involved in the fighting, so they are there. But the children, you know, and the mothers are the people that suffer the consequences of whatever conflict that may come. So that is what we are witnessing. And, you know, now what to eat, where to sleep, water to bath, all these things have health consequences, because if children don't get food to eat, then they get malnourished, they are susceptible to sickness or diseases. Mothers, you know, have their own motherhood issues or reproductive issues, and that get complicated. So it's of concern, and we all think that the authorities, you know, should ensure that it doesn't play for long, because if it goes for a long time, these women and children will begin to have serious negative consequences.
Doc, so let me ask you very briefly. I know Parliament is on recess. I asked, as a health committee, are you going to do something in the meantime? Are you collaborating to ensure that at least you also contribute your quota before Parliament even reconvenes?
Yes, of course. It's like I said, it's of concern to us. I mean, as we are speaking, I cannot give an immediate plan. I mean, that's why I'm answering the question that way, because, like I said, we deal with leadership. My chairman, as we are speaking, it's not within the jurisdiction and other leadership. So I don't want to be, though it's a concern, and I know as a committee we would act, but in terms of a concrete action today, tomorrow, that the committee is taking that decision, it can say no, but it's a concern, and we will take the necessary action.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Doc, for joining us. And you heard right there the Vice Chair of Parliament Health Committee, Dr. Sebastian Sandari, speaking about the health crisis beginning to emerge among displaced victims, mostly children of communal conflicts who are seeking refuge at the Solar Police Station. We also do understand that personnel from the Ghana Red Cross Society and health workers at the Solar Government Hospital are working to contain the situation. Several hundreds of people, mostly women and children, were displaced following a land dispute that claimed over 10 lives and injured several others. A dusk to dawn curfew was imposed on the Solar and Bole communities as a measure to curb the escalation of the conflict. On Monday, which is Monday the 26th of August, actually Tuesday, the Inspector General of Police, among other top security operatives, and the Savannah Regional Security Council visited the affected communities to reassure them of their safety as well as ceasefire. Let's listen to some conversations Savannah Regional Correspondent had with the victims.
Since the one up to now, in fact, it wasn't easy. But looking at Red Cross intervention, we are able to manage some of the minor issues. And especially this morning, the way the case keep on rising, early morning when I came here, I have attended to 7 people. Those who are having minor injuries, we will dress them. And those that they just maybe, if I can say your stomach or other thing, or just maybe get you a porridge, you take them. Maybe within some time, when I talk to you, then I think you can see that it's okay. If they can mount a mobile health post here, like if they can join us, I think it will help us. If not, looking at the situation currently, it's not easy for us.
There is a looming health crisis here. In actual fact, the people who have gathered here, there is no place of convenience. All over is littered with human excreta, and there's a need for us to get some sort of mobile toilet, what we call mobile toilet, so that the people here can easily ease themselves.
And you had a member of the Red Cross currently on site helping them. The regional minister also spoke to the press earlier.
The curfew is imposed to ensure some sanity in the communities that we have. It is in our own interest that we are having the curfew. It is the interest of the people of Bole district, the people of Solatuna Calabar district, that the Ministry of Interior, based on the intelligence that they have gathered, saw the need to impose the curfew. And it is actually affecting every aspect of the 2 districts. So I'm appealing to my brothers and my sisters in the district to kindly comply and respect the rules of the curfew. The rules are principally very simple.
And you had the Savannah Regional Minister. We do know that yesterday, the Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, Dr. Agnes Namomolate, was also there. This is what she told the press.
It's a very sad situation, a very sad and unfortunate one. Anyone who comes to this camp will tell you that it's not a good sight to behold. When you look at the faces of the children, and that of the pregnant women, persons with disability, and then the lactating mothers. You know, especially the lactating mothers, they need the food to be able to produce the milk, and then also more fluid to produce milk and then feed the babies. The pregnant women, under normal circumstances, most people eat double. But given this situation, in fact, the first day was horrible because most people did not have anything to eat. But we stepped in, and then some way, somehow, we've been able to do our widow's mite to meet the needs of the people here in terms of their feeding halfway. I am appealing to all the factions that for the sake of the women and children who we hold dear, they should sit and jaw. We want to call for peace.
And you had the Gender, Children and Social Protection Minister, Dr. Agnes Na Momo Olate. Now, the Greater Accra Regional Minister, Linda Akwele Oklu, has warned municipal and district chief executives to desist from surrounding themselves with personal assistants or face the consequences. She also warned that these MMDCs not to allow the PAs to represent them at meetings and also sign sensitive documents. She said some issues are discussed at regional coordinating council meetings are sensitive and go beyond personal assistance.
Let me address a disturbing trend that has reached my attention. Some of you have surrounded yourselves with personal assistants who have virtually taken over your official responsibilities. If you have decided to bring PAs, let them be clear. Their roles is strictly to help you organize your schedules, manage your time, and provide administrative support. Your PAs are not to approve documents on gimmicks and not to represent you at official meetings. This must stop immediately. Assemblies cannot run by unelected, unappointed individuals hiding behind your authority. Furthermore, I have reports that many of you have also turned your official offices into party meeting grounds, filling them with unauthorized officials and visitors, while your staff, the very people who are supposed to lead, are denied access to discuss official matters. This is abuse of office and is unacceptable.
The Greater Accra Regional Minister also touched on the demolition of unauthorized structures at the Ramsel site in the region.
Another matter of grave concern is the reckless encroachment and destruction of environmentally sensitive areas. I am serving notice here and now. The RCC working with the relevant agencies will continue to embark on demolition exercise at the Ramsar site to stop the illegal development that are choking our wetlands and worsening our flooding situation. Equally, alarming is the filling material into the Laloi Lagoon. Between the Kpone, you are fighting over boundary issues, so I don't know which district it falls on. Between Kpone and Ningo Pram district. Let me be clear, this illegality must stop immediately. It is irresponsible, short-sighted, and a direct assault on environmental sustainability. We will not countenance these activities any longer.
And you had the Greater Accra Regional Minister, Linda Akwele Oklu. And that's it for the midday news here on True FM 92.7. My name is Beatrice Adu. Thank you so much for joining us today. Log on to shrenews.com for more news. Coming up shortly is Business Daily with Michael Ogudu.
And hello there, good afternoon and welcome to Business Daily here on 3FM 92.7 with me, Michael Obudu. Coming up, Bank of Ghana attributes current CD pressure to temporary cash flow problem, assuring drastic measures already in place to restore stability. We'll hear from Governor Dr. Johnson Isiama.
What you see out there as pressure is just a cash flow. The macroeconomic fundamentals are very strong.
Also, Ghana Revenue Authority GRA rejects Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana's allegations of irregular customs auctions, insisting due process was followed despite claims of political cartels and reduced clearance periods. And Center for Environmental Management and Sustainable Energy SEMSE says infrastructure woes may hinder Ghana's electricity export to Nigeria.
The infrastructure support system is too weak to supply Nigeria the needed electricity within the shortest possible time. I think that some of these ideas are in the long term.
Details of these and many other stories coming up shortly. Please don't go anywhere. Thank you so much for your time. Straight into our top story. The governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson Isiama, has dismissed the recent pressure on the cedi as a short-term challenge, assuring that the situation will normalize in the coming weeks. Speaking in an interview with an Accra-based radio station, Dr. Isiama attributed the development to what he described as temporary cash flow problem, adding that the central bank has already rolled out drastic measures to restore stability to the local currency.
When a currency appreciates sharply, it brings on board other phenomena. And we are beginning to see some of those phenomena at play. For example, immediately imports become a lot cheaper. And so you find that people who wouldn't have been settling their import bills that early, they find it cheaper to do so. And so it's just natural to begin to see pressure build up on the currency just because of the sharp appreciation that occurred. So for us, what you see out there as pressure is just a cash flow. The macroeconomic fundamentals are very strong. As at the end of June, you saw all the numbers. Growth is strong. The external sector is very much viable. The current account is very strong. You've seen the surplus. You've seen the trade account. The balance of payment is as strong, strongest than ever before. And so in terms of the macroeconomics, nothing has changed. Things are actually looking good. And so ideally, there shouldn't be pressure on the local currency.
Meanwhile, the First Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Zakari Mumuni, has assured the public to remain calm despite the recent pressure on the cedi. Speaking to the media on the sidelines of the National Banking Colleague Annual General Meeting in Accra, he stressed that there is no need for panic, advising individuals and businesses to strictly adhere to the central bank's latest foreign exchange directives to help stabilize the local currency.
There's no need to panic at all, and this is where we are. The measures we are implementing are adequate and they are working, and so we should be fine. Yeah, since we are not in a peg, you should once in a while see these movements. What it is you don't see, they are not sharp. It's just to be sure that these movements are not sharp. There is obviously consistency. The measures that we announced are just to re-emphasize that the cedi is our sole national legal tender, and this is just what it is. You recall a few weeks ago, the minister mentioned in Parliament that even for government contracts and everything is going to be in cedis. And so everybody, we all have to work in making sure the cedi remains our legal tender, and then everybody should behave accordingly. And this is exactly what the statement was about yesterday, re-emphasizing the fact that the cedi remains our sole legal tender.
That was First Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Zakari Mumuni, speaking. Now, away from that, the Ghana Revenue Authority, GRA, has rejected claims by the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana that customs officials failed to follow due process in the auction of perishable goods at the ports. The clarification follows a press release by the association in which it accused customs of irregular auction practices that it claimed disadvantaged importers and eroded confidence in port operations. The association had earlier alleged that politically connected cartels are hijacking the process, reducing the 60-day clearance period to just 21 days and leaving importers at a disadvantage.
In the statement, the Ghana Revenue Authority described the claims of the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana as misleading and clarified that the Customs Act 2015 makes clear provisions for the treatment of both perishable and non-perishable goods. According to the authority, sections 52, 53 and 59 of the Act outlined how imported goods should be handled if they are not cleared within the required time frame. For perishable goods, Section 53, subsection 3A gives GRA the power to auction them after 21 days of overstay. Motor vehicles, however, are treated differently under Sections 55, 57 and 59 and can be cleared within 60 days. The authority stressed that it is therefore erroneous to indicate that importers have 60 days within which to clear perishable goods. The GRA further urged importers to take advantage of the pre-cargo arrival clearance system, which allows duties to be paid before goods arrive, though additional payments may apply if discrepancies are found during inspection. The clarification comes after the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana warned that the practice was crippling businesses, eroding investor confidence, and could spark mass action if not addressed.
And that was a 3 Business News Desk report. Now, Ghana's plan to enter into a barter agreement with Nigeria exchanging electricity for natural gas faces significant hurdles due to the country's existing infrastructural challenges. According to Executive Director at the Center for Environmental Management and Sustainable Energy (CEMSE), Benjamin Sia, Ghana may find it difficult to reliably supply electricity to its West African neighbor.
The proposed barter arrangement revealed by the Minister for Energy and Green Transition is seen by some as an innovative solution to regional energy security. However, analysts like Executive Director at CEMSE, Benjamin Nsia, believes that without substantial investment in upgrading its own power infrastructure, Ghana may struggle to fulfill a large-scale export commitment.
Our ability to bring forth the necessary infrastructure to be able to pushing these electricity generated locally to other countries in Nigeria. Yes, we believe we have West African power pool, but the infrastructure support system is too weak to supply Nigeria the needed electricity within the shortest possible time. I think that some of these ideas are in the long term. So on the surface, I think that it looks very positive, but I think that in the short term, Ghana doesn't have enough power available to be able to supply to Nigeria in terms of the quantum they need.
The success of the deal will likely depend on Ghana's ability to address its internal energy sector challenges before it can become a reliable regional power hub. Also, harmonizing the sub-region's energy sector cost is crucial for power supply.
We need to harmonize the cost of infrastructure in different countries because this infrastructure is going to pass through various countries before it gets to Nigeria. Yes, we may learn from the West African gas pipeline system or framework in terms of costing each of these distribution systems within specific countries. But power also has its own infrastructure. So we need to develop a framework that addresses the cost of service of passing through each of these infrastructure in either Togo or Benin before we can talk about battery.
While government's initiative is aimed at leveraging Nigeria's abundant gas reserves to fuel Ghana's power plants, Nsia's observations raise questions about Ghana's capacity to deliver on its end of the deal.
And that was a 3 Business News Desk report, bringing an end to Business Daily here on 3FM 92.7. For more business stories, please visit our website at 3news.com/business. I am Michael Obudu. Thank you for watching. As always, please stay safe.